Hello, my name is Mike, and this is a car. I know it doesn't rhyme, sorry guys. Well, this episode's not about a bike, so I couldn't say my name is Mike, this is a bike. You know, tires have been on the list since I got the Rusty Grenade. However, they just got pushed to the top of the list.
Somewhere in a dusty, dirty back alley in western Arizona, not far from historical 66, is an old fart trying to cram a square peg into a round hole. He'll work on anything, just as long as it's got at least two cool wheels.
What's all this? Oh, look, schematics. That means we have an electrical problem. So our turn signals are not working properly. And get one side to flash, not the other, and neither one of the indicators is flashing on the dash. So my suspicions, I have to do a couple more tests, is first of all, that I have a bad turn signal switch, because when I turn the hazard flashers on, I can get all the lights to come on. But when I use the turn signals coming out of the same switch, I'm not getting a signal to one side. So that indicates the problem is inside this turn signal switch. Pretty easy to replace once you have the steering column shrouds removed. And then I think we just have some bulbs. You know, these instrument panel bulbs, when they burn out, because they're kind of a pain in the ass to get to, well, people just leave them. So we'll get those fixed too. Now, we've been making progress on the Rusty Grenade. I got some really cheap, slightly less dry-rotted tires for it, so at least I'll be able to drive it to the car wash. I got my radiator in that I had ordered. It's a really good radiator for the money, $145, something like that. It's aluminum, it's 3-row, it's gonna keep this old engine cool. I replaced both the hoses while I was at it. I replaced the thermostat while I was at it. And of course, you saw in the previous episode, it's got new heater hoses and the heater cores bypassed. And of course, all those new freeze plugs. I ran the engine for quite a while, got it good and hot, gave it a chance to build some pressure, no more coolant leaks. Now, this is coolant. Now, coolant serves a lot of functions. Coolant, antifreeze coolant. It increases the boiling temperature of water so it doesn't boil over as easily. It also lowers the freezing point so that your cooling system doesn't freeze up in the wintertime and blow the freeze plugs out. It also provides a little bit of lubrication for the water pump so it doesn't wear out prematurely. And also, probably the most important aspect is, well, it minimizes corrosion. Things like rust and silicate buildup and some other stuff. The very thing that caused the freeze plugs to go out in the first place. The previous owner obviously didn't have enough coolant kept in his system, and that's most likely the reason why those freeze plugs all fail. Now, this is a brand new, unopened jug of coolant. I bought this jug of coolant when I purchased the freeze plugs, knowing that, well, I need to protect my new freeze plugs from the same rot that occurred on the original freeze plugs. But see, I'm scared. I'm scared to put it in. I got water in it now. I don't want to drain the water out and put the coolant in. And there's a reason for that. Most of you have heard of Murphy's Law. The law that quite simply states that anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And as I mentioned before, the freeze plugs at the back of the engine block, well, they're still original. And the water pump is still original. Now, they're not leaking now, but one of the correlatives for Murphy's Law is that the cost or the odds of a coolant leak occurring in a part that you haven't replaced yet are directly proportional to the cost of the coolant. And this jug was around 20 bucks. So if I go ahead and put this coolant in this car, well, then I'm probably guaranteeing myself a leak from one of the rear freeze plugs or from the water pump. If I don't put the coolant in it, it probably won't leak. So you see, that's kind of my dilemma. Got to weigh this one out a little bit because, you know, Murphy's never been kind to me. So I got to get the flux cylinder on this side fixed also. And I got to lube the mechanism. And I got to get all this dirt that's accumulated inside the door out. Look at the sand buildup in this door from 35 years of sitting in the desert, coming out the drains. Got to push all this stuff out, otherwise next time it rains it'll turn to mud. Look at that, building little sand castles here. Goodness, this thing's got a lot of crud in it. Ugh. Blocked. Gotta unblock it. Well, we're gonna get bold. We're gonna drive it all the way to the car wash. See how that pans out. Can't see a thing out the windshield. Wish me luck. only marginally better.
The car runs and drives great now. So the question is, are we going to keep it? Are we going to sell it? What do we do with it?
Well, that does it for this video. I kind of need you guys to tell me what I should do with the rusty grenade. Now, I've looked at doing a 5-liter swap. I have to get a new K-member. I know a guy who's got one. Get it for a good price. Or maybe I should turbocharge the inline 6. Shall I paint it? Shall I put the Vice Grip Garage, patina stuff on it? Linseed oil, right? Should I put some fancy wheels on it? Should I take it back to the junkyard? Should I take it down the highway at 140 miles an hour and wrap it around a phone pole? No, it won't go 140. You guys, put in the comment section what I should do with this vehicle. Until next time, see you later.